It seems like maybe, and the most likely thing is that this isn't at all true. I don't know that anything's true, but it seems like life just keeps exploring every nook and cranny of experience. So not all experiences will be had by each individual body in one life, but a whole lot of experiences will happen, seem to happen. And the internal nooks and crannies, like it eventually again and again hits on areas where there might be old or new resistance. And this is all just theory. And the deep, deep shadow. And the deep, deep, deeper and deeper liberation, which actually, I don't know if that's deeper. It feels almost like shallower. It's like coming up for air. It's like clarity, breath, unobstruction. It's like smooth, open, full, vulnerable. Um, anyway, it just can't be known how intense a nook or cranny is going to be, or whether or not there will be resistance, or for how long. So each time there's discomfort, there's a little bit of like, this might be, this might be, there might be getting stuck for a while here, or it might get so uncomfortable or uncomfortable for so long that it seems like a dark night of the soul or something. So far, that's not the case. And then there's like a kind of, it seems like an oscillating, when it's not resisted, either initially or eventually. It's like, yeah, I don't know if it exactly goes back and forth. I don't know if that's how it goes, because there can be like multiple layers or iterations of unpleasantness and pleasantness. So it can just seem like that because those are in the dualism of the mind, like those are contrasted, like good and bad or pleasant and unpleasant. So I don't even know if any of that's true. But that being said, last night there was agitation, pleasant agitation. There was the night before there was like unpleasant agitation. And last night there was, I keep forgetting the word that gets used by people a lot. I even looked up the synonyms for agitation. I didn't see it. Or if I did, I missed it or didn't catch. And then I thought of it last night as it was happening. It's not discomfort. It's not agitation. Unsettled. Un, uh, but anyway. Um, but yeah, there can also be like pleasantness in the body that's a little bit, the closest I can think of is like being caffeinated. If there was like bliss and caffeination together or something. Didn't last a long time and there wasn't much made of it. It was just kind of noted. Fixated on that word. I want to remember the word. I'm trying to remember. Settled, uneasy. A, B, C, D, E, E seems L, M, N, O, E, Q, R. Restless. Restless. That's pretty good. S. Restless, unsettled. T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Restless. I still don't think that's the word, but um, yeah, restlessness. It's like it feels like excessive energy. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I imagine there was a thought that seemed like a reason to be recording. Maybe it's just to say that what just said. My cat is licking all the lotion off my legs. Their little sandpaper tongue. And then today, more or less, more. There's more or less. And it's less thinking, less thinking that is disturbing or unsettling. It's less uncertainty or hesitation in thought and in movement. Actions just happen. Someone had asked to hang out that I haven't hung out with outside a very specific context. And it's not socially acceptable to say the truth of the no. So what was said was there's barely enough time and energy at this point to fit in a week all the seeing the current friends and doing the current job and current self time. So from the outside looking in, that would look ridiculous because I work so few hours and am resting by myself so much. But that was like the closest. It was right on the edge of true, not true. Really, this person doesn't have anything that I want. There's like, it's really nice to see them in this particular context in a group and just genuine, like, hey, and then a brief catching up. And then we do the activity and then I leave. Or they leave. That is very nice. That is just right. More contact or individual contact is not wanted. And then another person who had made overtures in the past. And then for whatever reason, scheduling, cultural differences, personality differences, insecurities, who knows? There was like inconsistency, lack of communication, not follow through, whatever. So this just stopped trying. And then at one point when there was a direct interaction in person, this said, and they said, when they expressed again desire to get together, this said, if it happens easily, great. And then there was no trying. And then they reached out today. And there was just I don't know why this is all, it's like it's, the fuck am I talking about this for? Anyway, blah blah blah. And then yeah, said tomorrow there's time at this time. Please confirm right now the time and date. And they did. And then we'll see. We'll see tomorrow what it's like. There's appreciation for the younger generation. And they're not 100%, but more like the lack of deference to adults is actually like, because it's kind of made up, like, or totally made up, like authority, elders. It's not, and it is like, just depends whether someone who has been on the planet more actually has more information, which here, the most valuable information is knowing you don't know. So, so it's like really kind of delightful. I think it was uncomfortable years ago, but now it's like really quite enjoyable that young people don't just assume that if you're older, you know something or know better more than they do. It's so good. And like it's been, I've seen it in like pop culture and TV shows and movies too. The last movie I saw, the dialogue was so kind of direct and it didn't need to be comfortable. It didn't need, it was just honest and direct. And I've seen that in the younger generation. Yesterday, some kids, I don't know if they dropped a glass bottle or if they bumped it or one of them had a basketball. So I don't, they were like, they looked like they were maybe like 11, maybe a brother and sister. And then they were just kind of there. It was in a driveway across the street and like kicking it around and like, they look like, I don't know what to do. Um, and I heard the glass break and I was painting my nails in the bathroom. So I like went out with a dustpan and a little broom. I was like, I was across the street, do you guys want this for it? And they're like, no. And then I was like, you know what? I think we should, because it's, the people walk dogs. And then I didn't say it, but the car was like it would drive right over all that glass that pulled out of the driveway. So hand it to them and the girl kind of cleaned it up and then I took it to throw it away. But even that, like saying no to me, it might have in part been like shyness or discomfort, but it also, there was something nice about like, we don't need your help. And they didn't, right? It's like, they didn't need my help if I wanted them to clean it up or I wanted it cleaned up. And I also recognize after the fact that I could have just walked over and swept it. Um, but I handed it to them. Yeah, but it was like I liked that they said no, actually. And I liked that this was able to like say, let's do it anyway. And here's why. And then while I was sleeping, I said, yeah, I just broke something in my kitchen the other day, which was true. Actually, the cat broke it, the glass. But and then the boy was like, it's funny, what was his turn of phrase? It's like that sometimes or something. And it was like partially small talky, like I was doing small talky by saying it. It had a little snark. The internet cut off for a sec. It felt like it had a little snark or a little like, okay, it's stupid. We're gonna do this little like small talk dance. It was awesome. It was awesome. Partly too, like they're like in the this is just like in comparison to the past version here that would be so have so much hesitation, insecurity, doubt, replaying the scenario with self-esteem stuff and maybe blame internally or extra. I don't know. That would have been a whole thing that would have been painful, suffering. There would have been so many little points of suffering before, during, and after. And it was all free to be exactly how it was. And it was lovely. I guess like the summary of the experience was like, it felt like we were all equals. This wasn't like insecure, afraid, or wanting to be cool with them. It wasn't trying to um, lord over them authority or there was like it felt like equals, and then it also had like just a touch of the conditioned adult to child like way of phrasing. So there was some of that phrasing, like saying, let's do it because here's why. Like if it were adults, it might have internet keeps going in and out. Yeah, it might have been phrased a little differently if it were adults. So there was like a slight adjustment made, but the feeling was of equality. Just so nice. Yeah, and then sitting with Stephanie and feeling her capacity growing to be present with whatever's happening and the capacity growing here too. So being able to like hold the presencing together and not like trying to get anywhere, not, when it stopped, it was beautiful too. It was so familiar. Um, how nice it is for there to be permission and for a time it really does help to have someone outside of oneself holding that space, holding it there, like it's okay. Whatever's arising is invited, and here it is, and it's already going, and um, it's just so nice. And then it was just being offered effortlessly. No plan, no trying to get anywhere, no trying to make anything happen, just really enjoying what was happening in the moment, in the moment, in the moment together. And then it was totally free to stop when it stopped. So empty of suffering. It's so empty of knowing, empty of trying or doing or getting somewhere. Just really enjoyable as itself, just like it is right now. Watching the stink bug on the screen. Really like, I don't know what the next word is, but like it's a lot of work for that stink bug. It like walking on sideways across that screen because it keeps almost falling, and then catching and then almost falling. Just trucking along. That's how walking on a screen is for a stink bug. Beautiful. Such a beautiful stink bug. The word stink bug. The word stink bug. It's beautiful too. Stink bug. It's not inherent to it. The beautiful is not inherent to anything. It's the flavor of experience. It's the energy kind of imbuing experience right now. Yesterday at this time, the energy imbuing experience was unpleasant. Today it's pleasant. But it's the experience, like the stink bug isn't unpleasant or pleasant, actually. It's not ugly or beautiful or annoying or relaxing or whatever. However, yeah, so the internal energetic state colors the world, colors. It is the whole, it is casts a hue. But it doesn't mean that what is that. It just seems to be. It's not just thoughts and it's not just emotions that don't have truth value. It's energy, attitude, just constantly changing.